All right. I'm reacting to the second part of the view. I don't even know what she's wearing because I'm not watching. But like for what I'm getting, it's just such a sense of she's manic. She's reacting. She's not being likable. She's not getting applause. Usually people do. She's not getting a lot of butt kissing from the ladies. I don't know. This is a bizarre one. I didn't know she was going to be so, it just sounds aggressive on her answers. So yeah, nerves and all that, but I don't know, there's something weird with it. I'm just going to go back a little bit. When I ended the last video, I just took my sweater off, but I promise I'm doing all this in one sitting because I really want to have the feel of what's going on without watching 100 times like I usually do. Like I did with Phoenix Rising. I watched it over and over until I was sick of it. Okay, let me see what this is such a campaign. She's putting so many subjects. You know, she's gone from the suicide to when she met him, grooming, allegedly meeting him, allegedly grooming, alleged physical, okay, and then she's talking about mental abuse, and now she talked about cutting, suicide. She's doing all this in like 30 minutes, pretty much. And I think she's going to keep going. I don't think she's stopping anytime soon. And she's not letting anybody talk. Like, you know, she's not being, like I said, she's not being likable. And maybe it's because this is like I think this is the first interview that she did after the movie premiere. And I happened not to watch it at the moment because I was busy and I knew I had to sit down and listen to this with an open mind and an open heart. But I still think it's bullshit, and that's my opinion. But it's just she comes across like a snob, really. Okay, let's go back a little bit of what I just cut my last video at this point, I believe.
You're limited by the statute of limitations, and
okay, yeah,
the statute of limitations is the amount of time you have to report crime. Yeah. And they do not reflect what we know.
It's only in California. She wants everybody that is ignorant to believe it's a national thing, and it is not.
Powerful, who has many resources of retaliation to be able to come after you. There's a million reasons why you wouldn't come forward. But very specifically, what trauma does to the brain and how long it takes to process. It takes, on average, 7 to 10 years to be able to process this kind of abuse. Because imagine, you know, somebody says something that hurts your feelings.
Because your kind of abuse is more important than my kind of abuse, right? What should we be saying? That's such a general thing to say. Like, I'm stopping.
And how long it would take to undo the psychological warfare that has been done, which a lot of victims will tell you is the worst part of the abuse. It's not the physical. It's what they do to your mind, body, and spirit. It takes so long to overcome. And right now, when I was trying to get justice in California, the amount of time I had to report was 1 to 3 years. And, you know, those first few years, you're doing what everybody tells you to do, which is try to move on and forget it ever happened. Right. You're running. You are running.
Can you slow down?
Up with you and you realize I can't run from this anymore. And then you have to start rebuilding yourself. And then, if you're lucky, you rebuild yourself. And then maybe you can think about pursuing justice, you know. And so we need more time.
Sometimes it's too late.
It's something what the majority
we know that you did that. The timeline of that, I believe that it wasn't the way she's saying it. Rebuild herself. Okay. This is what I think. Let's say she came up with this idea. Not right after they broke up, but let's say she came up with the idea in like 2015. Let's just say that, for just saying. She went on Congress, did the Congress thing, did the Phoenix Act, which by the way is only in California, but she wants everybody to believe that she changed the law in a national scale, and she really didn't. And I'm not for the Phoenix Act or I'm not pro or con, okay, but she didn't do this national campaign. She's trying to make ignorant people to believe she did. It's just California, and 1 year to 3 years is not. If 1 year is too little. I think 2 or 3 years is okay. So extended is so much more. It can really destroy lives, or men and women that are being accused, falsely accused. That's been said in many videos. I just don't think that people have the facts that it's just California, and she didn't make this change that she's trying to make everybody believe that she made. And one thing that she did is have a GoFundMe account. Okay, I'm not making that up. You can go look it up. And it was Ilma Gore on the payroll. I think they got like $200,000. It might not be a lot for Evan. It's a lot for Ilma. Cause you know she's always broke, that chick. She's always hustling. You know, to me, $200,000 is good, but it's not enough for me to lie, destroy life. But yeah, the Phoenix Act wasn't a thing until 2015. So for her to say that she was recovering her stuff for 17 years makes no sense, because from 2011 when they broke up to 2015, that's only 4 years. So hello, there's more madness of timeline over there. Again, she's talking so fast, and she's coming off like so snobby. I have not heard an applause once, and usually this type of shows they have like the applause from the audience. All right, let's see. What else you got, Evan?
And abusers know this. And they know there's a statute of limitations. They know all they got to do is scare you long enough until that statute of limitations.
Only the ones in California.
In fact, Brian did an interview in 2012 where he specifically cited the statute of limitations.
So did your work change the statute of limitations?
It did. So the Phoenix Act is a bill that gives.
He's like, let's talk. Let's just get to it.
To report. It's very, very important, and this is how we're going to stop serial abusers. We know we had other
not necessarily
provisions in the bill that were cut out on the floor, like if 3 or more women are coming forward about the same person, it could extend the statute of limitations. If your evidence hasn't deteriorated, it should expand the statute of limitations. If coercive control is involved, if you're too afraid to come
3
forward,
or more women, so then they can.
Exceptions, right? And
I did not know that.
And so we got to strengthen these laws and educate people about it.
I want to ask you one question because I think it's important.
Okay, Whoopi Goldberg.
When someone begins to isolate you from your family,
oh my God, Whoopi.
Is that something a family member should keep really close attention?
Isn't that obvious?
Because one of the things
yes,
that
it is. A family
is
member should be
isolated from your folks. So is this important for people who are outside?
It's so hard to take.
Yeah, absolutely. And my family knew that something terrible was happening, and they knew that I disappeared. And even on the rare occasion I was allowed to see them, it's still controlled.
Oh!
You know, it's still,
Of course, she got to say that. I'm telling you that Evan has been watching YouTube. I remember eHacker, John from eHacker, and I don't think Andy, but Kristen for sure. I remember a lot of us saying, well, if she was so isolated, how come she was going to Disneyland and, places like that with mom, dad, and Manson. She used to say that she was not allowed to do anything, to go anywhere. Now she's saying that she was. And I think she's changing it because somebody's telling her, somebody's whispering in her ear that YouTube and Instagram is not 100% on her side, and she knows something is up, and I think that's what she's changing a little bit. She's tweaking things here and there. She's not changing it for sure, but like for reals, but she's tweaking. She's totally tweaking things. And now she's saying that, I find that really, as a mom, listen, never say never, and always don't say always. Like, I don't like absolutes. I don't like saying never. I don't like saying always. I don't like saying forever. Those are hard to say. But I'm going to say one of those. If I think my daughter or my son are going through anything like this with a rock star or with non-rock star guy, woman or man abusing them or whatever, they're going through all this mess, do you think I will just sit for 15 or 16, 17 years? Doesn't matter how rich this person is, doesn't matter how famous it is. What type of parent? At least one of them will pop. At least maybe not the dad, because he seems like a selfish fuck, but maybe the mom. Somebody will pop, and maybe just like send like an anonymous tip. You can always do that with the FBI. I know that for a fact. You can do that, but nobody pop out, and that's very hard for me to believe. And I think the reason is because That's a lie. Nobody popped against Manson, and nobody anonymously say anything about him from her family, because that's a lie. Because I don't think they thought he was a monster. Oh, well, there's so much bullshit on this one. Like, I don't think they thought he was a monster. And I think she's adding this and tweaking this because somebody's been telling her that there's a wave of people not believing her. It could be us, it could be Instagram, or both. She's tweaking, man. She's adding things. It's a campaign, you know, and she's so eager to get to that part. She's not even talking about the torture, allegedly, you know, torture, tying up the knees and the prayer on the knees and the cutting. He will cut her allegedly. She's not even on that. She's like, I understand it's a daytime show, but she's not even on that. She's like, well, finish act. And I don't disagree completely, okay? But I think 2 or 3 years is good. I don't think 7 years is good. And I didn't know this detail until now. Part of my ignorance, but I didn't know, and I don't think a lot of you know either. I didn't know this whole thing about if 3 or 4 women come out on the same person, it has to be listened to. Only 3 or 4? It just sounds like it's such a setup. And in some cases it might be truth, but this is like really dangerous for a lot of people. And again, just think she did this in California. Don't believe that she's this type of hero that, yeah, that's Lily in the background just walking around. She's like, can you be done with that talking you do into that screen? She hates it. Yeah, it's quite annoying, isn't it? I'm hating it too. No, I don't hate it. I'm just really, I'm surprised of a couple things. Yeah. I feel like no matter what she does, we are going to react unless she comes clean. There's always going to be a reaction, a negative reaction from me. I'm trying to be logical. I'm trying to be empathetic. You guys know, and I have comments from at least 2 ladies telling me that I'm the empathetic one, and I'm not I'm the logical. But dude, it's hard with her. It's making it really hard. She's not even mentioning Esme. She's not even mentioning Ashley, Morgan, Walters. If I was one of them, I'd jump out. I'm like, this Titanic is sinking. I'm not going to. But they still have time, Ashley and Esme. Just go. Just go. And you don't have to say, oh, I'm jumping out because Manson is innocent. Just go. Don't say anything. Because you're taking part of a criminal act right now. Whoever. And I'm not saying the people on YouTube supporting Evan. You're not being a criminal. I guess not for now. But you being a criminal if you are part of that group. Like, you don't want to be associated with this shit. Like, I really think that somebody might pop. It's just my intuition. And I have been right about this. If I was one of them, I would never be on that group. But if I was one of them, I'd probably just leave the group and not say a thing. And I think that's maybe what's happening. That's why Esme is like a blur in the movie. She's not even talking. You can see a blue blazer with some red hair. That is Esme. And she's like doing this. Seems like she's crying. Seems like it. She's probably crying because she's like, fuck. This is a mess. I don't hate Esme. I just don't understand why associate yourself with somebody like Ilma Gore, which is a known hoaxer, criminal, hustler, hacker. So Evan, you're just being an asshole on The View. Such a campaign, huh? All right, let's see. That she's acting and talking like a politician, like a political, you know what I mean? Like, not like a victim or an actress. Like the ladies that talk about Harvey Weinstein, they had a different type of tone, and they were expressing themselves in a different way. They were not going like, it's like, you know, that it's almost manic. It is manic. If I didn't know any better, I would say. My opinion. It's just she's being manic on I'm not saying she's high. I'm saying that she's quite manic. Either because she's trying to get the information really fast, or because she just knows if she's lying, and maybe it's weight on her conscience. I don't know. Let's just keep listening to this hot mess.
Under his eye, so to speak. And so, and domestic violence doesn't just affect the victim; it affects the whole family, because they have to watch the person that they love go through this, and it's very hard to know what the right thing to do.
Of course, she's gonna say that because her parents were in the movie.
Is to not shame them. Don't come at them panicked. Don't say you have to do this. You got to.
Why are they telling us what to do?
Just be that lifeline. Let them know that there is a hand there ready to grab their hand when they're ready, because they will tell you when it's safe. They will tell you when it's time. I can't tell you how much it helped just to know that there were people. I mean, I had friends that used to circle the neighborhood I lived in, just waiting for me to call. And like that means so much. And when I was ready, I called.
Friends, they circle the neighborhood.
Thank you for coming.
Oh my gosh.
We'll talk more with Evan Rachel Wood when we come back.
Welcome
back. We're coming back? Gosh, damn.
Let me ask you this, because he filed a lawsuit against you where he claims
Let's
you
go.
and another activist made knowingly false statements to police, prospective accusers, that you listed specific acts of abuse that prospective accusers might claim against Warner. You say his name is Brian Warner, and forged a document purporting to be from an FBI agent. He also responded to the documentary saying, quote, nothing that...
Good for you, The View. They're putting her on the spot.
Their hand-picked co-conspirators have said on this matter can't be trusted. This is just more of the same from a group who have spread falsehood after falsehood, end quote. Can you respond to that? I'd like to give you the opportunity to do that.
Sure. Well, I can't, obviously speak about any of the specific allegations of the lawsuit, but
You can't?
I am not scared. I am sad, because this is how it works. This is what pretty much every survivor that tries to expose someone in a position of power goes through. And this is part of the retaliation that keeps survivors quiet. This is why people don't want to come forward, because this
Of course she's going to say that.
It
is expected for you to say that, girl.
And that the truth will come out, and, that this is, clearly timed before the documentary, and, for this is the reason.
Oh, wait, what the fuck?
So, yes, again,
wait, is she trying to say that he timed it? No, you time it. You time it. You knew that he was gonna come out after 1 year. You time it. I don't know how she knew, but she's the one that timed the whole thing. She's saying that he timed it. Anyway, it's really strange. I don't know if I'm cutting at the right time. I'm gonna get a strike. Fuck it at this point. I'm a hot chocolate. I mean so homey. I was criticized because I look so old and so homey. So now I'm trying to look older and more homey for you. Don't fuck with me. I'm not in the mood. Gotta pay taxes pretty soon, so I'm pissed. So anyway, I'm looking for sympathy. I hate that she does so many genital, like she just go on the genital thing, like all abusers do this, all abusers go to this, and some of us don't. I don't like that she's been doing that from the beginning. Another thing I don't like is that she's talking fast and whatever, but she is not really, she just said, I can't comment on that very much. You've been commenting since the last 13 months. You've been doing everything and commenting. You were like Rachel, you were posting on your Instagram story that you think it disappears, but we screenshot it, right? All you've been doing is comment about Jamie Bell, comment about how hard it is to parent by yourself, which I don't think that. Comment about Manson, telling your fans to call the police on him. It's all she's been doing in making comments. So I don't know why she's saying, well, I'm not able to make comments now. That has something to do maybe with his lawyer. I don't know, but that's really getting me. This is for real, me like being like flabbergasted all this shit. Okay. Oh my gosh, when is it gonna be over?
I'm not doing this to clear my name. I'm doing this to protect people. I'm doing this to sound the alarm that there is a dangerous person out there, and I don't want anybody getting near him. you know, and so people can think whatever they want about
So
me.
she's not doing it for us. She's doing it for herself and her friends.
I'm steady as a rock, so.
Good for you,
Well,
girl.
and you,
I'm steady as a
the
rock.
10 years later, you're still experiencing trauma, but I want to know, how are you coping with it? How are you dealing with it?
You know, there's good days and bad days, and I don't want to sugarcoat things for survivors or act like, yeah, and you know, I'm super, you know, one of my favorite quotes is that trauma didn't make me stronger, but it sure made me funnier, because you learn to you have to have a sense of humor, otherwise you cry forever, and so, you know,
You make
find
rape
the silver
jokes.
linings, you find your people
Shit,
that
she's
know
batshit
you
crazy.
and love you and that are there for you unconditionally, and that is invaluable.
That might be
And
true.
therapy, you know, you got, I mean, but again, like
That might be true.
I'm
Therapy's
a
good.
platform. I'm privileged. I'm white. I have resources, you know, and like I can't
She just
even
say I'm
imagine
white.
How alone people must feel that go through this, that do not have
That's
privilege,
so
that do
tone
not have a
deaf.
platform, that do not have money, and they're alone. They're so alone, and so or they feel like they are, and so I would just say that you are not. You are not.
Yes,
alone.
we are.
You're not the only one going through this, and we should all be alarmed that, you know, as I said, I have these things in my corner and I'm still struggling, and that should alarm everyone, because if this
She is constantly telling all of us and those ladies how to feel. And this should alarm everybody. And this should make everybody think. This should do that. It's like I think that's like the worst way to go about it. Like if you want somebody to like you, just using the should, and I don't think she's coming out likable at all. I'm really surprised. I just thought that she was gonna try a little bit. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Maybe I'm way off. I'm usually not. I'm really analyzing this. I'm being logical, you guys. I'm the logical one, and all I can think about is that she's nervous, but I also think that she's doing like she's lying, and she's trying to make all the topics in those 15 minutes that they're giving her, campaign, and that's why she's going fast. And also, she's not likable. She just doesn't even like the people she's sitting there with. I mean, this is very obvious, because if you watch the Drew Barrymore interview that I made a video about right before this one, she likes Drew Barrymore. It seems like she's not she's not coming out as such a bitch. Sorry to say that word. I have no more words anymore. I don't like that she talks in genital. I don't like that she thinks she's talking for all of us. I never liked that from Amber, but she's making it worse. Like, this is just a habit that she has, and it's pretty annoying.
This happens to you or somebody that you love, guess what? You're going through the same system I am. Yeah. And we should all be alarmed. And
we should all be
learning more
alarmed.
about it
Should.
and seeing what we can do to change it.
So there you have it. Again, thank you.
Oh, one applause.
Can't say it enough.
Hi.
The two-part HBO documentary film Phoenix Rising debuts
One
March
applause,
15th
just because
and
Whoopi
16th
Goldberg
on HBO and
talk.
HBO Max. Watch it.
Cool.
I'll
Alright.
be Cinderella and
Now I
Moana,
can see what
okay?
she was
I'll be
wearing. I wanted to do this without looking at it. It would just be hard. Oh my god, this is worse than I thought. Shit. I hope the other ones that I haven't seen are more... She just seems more warm and likable and chill. I mean, I know it's hard to say, well, if you were allegedly raped, how can you be chill? Yes, you can. Because you want people to believe you and like you. And if you're coming out of manic mess, and I won't say a hot mess, she seems in control, because it is a campaign. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go before I get in trouble with The View. And did you notice that the only one applause that she got was because Whoopi Goldberg, which everybody loves, said, "Well, that's it for today, everybody." And if you ever been in a TV show like that, you know that they have like this applause sign. So I don't want to be cynical, but maybe that's what it was. But she didn't get one applause in this whole speech, which I'm gonna call it speech, because I think that's exactly what she did. This is worse than an Amber Heard deposition. Like, this is worse because Amber did it like to just do it in court, well, which is bad. No, Amber sucks too. I'm not defending Amber Heard, but like, I think this is worse. This is a step. This is the whole different creature. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm gonna go for 30 minutes. Got that down. And tell me what you think. Is it just me, or she's being very rude? Which it wasn't expected. I know she's not. I believe she's not a good person. I think she's not a good person. But I thought she was going to be, because she's an actress, I thought she was going to be more like trying to be likable. And not so, well, it was almost like seeing, you know, like during the elections, you know, where you see those, you know, the red going against the blue and the Democrats and all that, and the ones in the middle, and everybody's doing the, and they're talking the way I'm talking, blah, blah, blah. It's really, it's not appealing like one bit. Anyway, Rachel. And I do believe that she's been watching YouTube, because she's saying things that she didn't say before. So if you're watching YouTube, maybe, you know, just learn something, Rachel. The other ones are watching YouTube. I know that somebody's watching, because for her to mention the vanilla sex, which is something that only Paula Weiss and Manson mentioned in Kristen's channel, only there. Those exclusive interviews that Kristen did with those people, thank God that she did. So I think they watch something. Otherwise, why would she bring it up? What would she be? Would she bring it up? She doesn't bring the word. She wouldn't bring sex if it was so embarrassing. She brought it up to make a point. Wow. Okay. I'm surprised, and I'm pissed off, and I'm just like numb about it, and I want to understand more of what her motive is besides the campaign, and what is she trying to sound so rude. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm tripping. I don't think I am. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna make the other video a little bit after this one, and now dude, I'm sober. I feel like even if I was on speed, you wouldn't really, I mean, I wouldn't even be like that. This is madness. And if you watch Phoenix Rising Part 2, there's only one thing I'm not going to touch on, which is Jack. Because I'm drawing the line on the children. So if you want to watch that, or you're going to watch it by yourself or watch somebody else talking about it, I don't want to talk about Jack. I can talk about Jamie Bell, but I don't want to talk about Jack because it's really sad. She has a couple scenes with Jack, and they're just awkward and uncomfortable and sad, and I don't want to do that because that could get me a lot of trouble. So, and also I feel dirty doing that, just talking about somebody's kid. I would not want anybody talking about my kid. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you. Bye guys.